Talk about a not very pretty mess. Not very pretty at all.
Well, Glenn, let's move into some more troubling news. Tom Girardi, the hustler of The Housewife and The Hustler, married to Erika Jayne, the pretty mess, has moved out of his multi-million-dollar mansion. If you haven't seen pictures, please go look at it. It is ridiculous. And he is in a senior living facility. Now, he's 82 years old, and he's, of course, going through a divorce right now with Erika Jayne. They are talking all about it on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills right now for allegedly embezzling funds that came from plane crash victims, burn victims, just real sad. But the Daily Mail has pictures of him entering a Burbank nursing home this past Sunday. And he just moved out of his $13 million mansion in Pasadena and forced to give up his luxurious lifestyle due to this embezzlement and his health issues. Now, this is pretty sad. And Tom has an estimated net worth of over $260 million. But since the divorce, he has been disbarred, forced to auction off his clothing. A lot of stuff from his offices has been turned over to cover legal costs. And earlier this year, they filed docs claiming that he's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and then he had all of his assets frozen. And he could potentially be facing federal charges for months. Now, this is so sad because this guy was so terrible and did so many terrible things to people, but it's hard to see someone shipped off to a home and have their, life fall apart before them, especially when they were so huge beforehand.
Talk about a not very pretty mess. Not very pretty at all.
No.
Bad for him. But, and Erika found out that he cheated on her. I mean, come on.
Yes.
Who was this guy? Listen, I think that it's very sad when people realize that they are, their spouses living a double or quadruple life or what have you. But sometimes people invite this pretty mess into their homes. I don't know.
I know, and cheated with a woman who was like 15 years her senior. They were seen out several times together. It seemed like a real relationship. This wasn't some, 26-year-old Instagram model that he plucked off the grid. This was like a woman who he seemed to have a relationship with. Super tragic.
Yeah, super tragic.